Hey, I'm meteorologist Doug Myers with the latest forecast on this Tuesday. A dreary, cloudy day yesterday, keeping temperatures in the low 40s, and I think it's going to be about the same today, but because we are starting out just a little bit warmer, we'll be a little bit warmer for highs. It won't be much, though. Upper 40s is about the best we'll be able to do, maybe reaching 50 in a few lucky spots, but because of the cloud cover, a little bit of fog, and a little bit of some light rain in some areas, that is going to keep temperatures on the cooler side. Might be able to get in the low to mid 50s tomorrow as we do start to usher in some milder air with the air mass, but I still think the overall sky conditions is going to be cloudy with some spotty rain showers. There's a very, very low probability, especially late tonight, that there might be some storms starting to push up from the south that may impact our far southern communities. It is a very low chance. It's a marginal risk. I really don't think that much of the storms will make it up towards the turnpike, up towards Topeka, even though southern portions of Shawnee County is in that marginal risk. I really think it's going to be closer to I-35. But this is just what the outlook is early in the morning, and it is going to be updated several times throughout the day, so keep checking back in for updates. But hail would be the primary concern, and we're only talking quarter size at most. So that would be severe weather criteria. It is possible to get a severe thunderstorm warning tonight. I wouldn't count on it, though, but I wouldn't be surprised. Here's why. Here's a look at Supercast and showing some spotty rain showers at times through the day. Nothing overly heavy. Most of the rain stays right along I-70. And then as we head into tonight, this is what I'm talking about. Here's some of that storm activity starting to get into some of that yellow and the orange. That's the heavier rain. That's where the highest probability of the potential strong to severe weather will be. It's not even making its way into the WIBW viewing area. So just know that that is a scenario where even though the marginal risk goes all the way up towards the turnpike, we may not get anything at all, storm-wise, especially severe-wise, in our area, even our southern communities. But that is probably worst-case scenario on the outlook that you just saw. Again, just something to keep an eye on. For tomorrow, we'll have those showers in the morning, quickly pushing eastward, and then for the afternoon, there's some isolated activity at times through the day, so nothing overly heavy. So here's what we're looking at. Rainfall-wise today, generally less than 1/10 of an inch, and continuing to add on to that tonight into the day tomorrow. It's not much, maybe at most 2/10 of an inch, but most of the heavier rain is going to be just to the south of our viewing area. This is through Wednesday evening, but continuing in a little bit into Wednesday night into Thursday, showing us some of the other computer models, and we're really not looking at anything overly heavy. So while I do have rain showers in the forecast for today and tomorrow, it is going to be very spotty. So this is one of the reasons why that just looking at an icon, just looking at an 8-day, it doesn't tell the whole story. And why you need to make sure that you're checking in with our forecast discussion, whether it's through text or with a video. Because if you just look at the 8-day and you see showers and you don't get anything at all, or you just get a couple hundredths of an inch, you think we busted the forecast. Well, no, we didn't. You just didn't look at the details. So I just wanted to put that out there. I think we're dry Thursday, and temperatures finally warming back in the upper 60s. And then we'll have 2 rounds of storms we're monitoring. One late Thursday night and a Friday morning. Right now, I'm not thinking that that's going to be severe, but late Friday afternoon, Friday evening, there'll be another round. That could be severe, and it's still way too early to tell, but I would just prepare for all hazards possible, including tornadoes. I'm not saying we will have a tornado. I think it's an extremely low probability compared to the other hazards, but it is possible. And then we're dry for the weekend. A quick cool down Saturday, warming back up Sunday into Monday, and then staying mild with another storm risk on Tuesday of next weekend. That could usher in temperatures that could be back down in the 40s next Wednesday with the cold front. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Just to give you an idea of what our long-range computer models are indicating over the next 8 days, and that includes that Tuesday chance for rain. It's a decent amount. It's not as heavy as what we were thinking from yesterday. Here's the GFS. Generally less than an inch. So we'll continue to monitor all of those hazards heading into the next couple days. That's days 9 and 10 with the GFS and showing some precipitation continuing. I do want to mention the Storm Spotter training class this evening in Topeka. This starts at 7 o'clock. I'll try to be there around 6 o'clock. It's at the Washburn Memorial Union, so if you want to come out and say hi or have your weather radio programmed, sometime between 6 and 6:30, I'll be there for sure. There's a possibility I might help out at the Red Cross table since I'm a Red Cross volunteer. We are going to have a table out there, so if you're interested in learning about the Red Cross or volunteering, I can answer those questions too. Tomorrow evening at the Ottawa Memorial Auditorium in Franklin County, and then in Concordia at the Cloud County Community College on Thursday. All at 7 o'clock. Free class. Just come and show up and learn all about severe weather. Today, as we continue Severe Weather Awareness Week, it's about flooding. And flooding is the number one severe weather-related killer. You can see that it's above tornadoes. I know tornadoes get all the hype. Yes, tornadoes can do a lot of damage and can kill people, but we really have to be careful about the flood threat. So what do you do when there's a flood threat? Well, obviously, you want to avoid the waters, because it can be very dangerous. Move to higher grounds. Do not attempt to drive through a flooded roadways. The vast majority of fatalities in a flood is because people drive through it. They underestimate the power of water, and it does not take much to float your vehicle down to water. Yeah, 1 to 2 feet. I know that's not much because we're not talking about 1 to 2 feet of measurable rain, but when it's all coming crashing in an area, a very small area, that all you need is maybe a half inch to an inch very quickly, and all of a sudden any creeks nearby and anything that overflows could drastically increase the amount of water that's in an area, even though we didn't get that amount of rain. So maybe that's the disconnect of people not understanding that, and we really have to be careful about that. Don't drive around a barricade either. Just heed warnings, because you never know if the road is underneath the water. It might not exist, so you have to be very careful. We are monitoring some heavy rain just to our southeast. We are in that slight risk along and south of the Turnpike, an 8 to 14 day outlook. So no surprise there that we have probability of above average precipitation in both the 6 to 10 and 8 to 14 day outlook. I want you to notice the 8 to 14 day outlook temperature wise. Probability of below average temperatures, as we may be ushering in some cooler air as we head into the second half of the work week. Might not last very long, but it is possible that we might get a little bit on the cool side as we head into the middle part of March before warming back up to end the month. So definitely want to make sure that we're being cognizant of that. And then another heads up hazard, we're in the slight risk of some strong winds at times between March 10th through the 16th. The good news is, over the next couple days, winds really shouldn't be a factor at all, unless it's being influenced by a storm. But overall, it's not going to be bad for the next 8 days. Yes, it's going to be a bit on the cool side today still, but at least a little bit warmer than yesterday, even if it's only a couple degrees. And then we'll start to get a little bit warmer each day as we round out the work week. Keeping an eye on a couple of opportunities of spotty showers today and tomorrow with isolated thunderstorms. Better chance of storms late Thursday night through Friday evening, and then dry for the weekend. Not forgetting daylight saving time beginning this weekend too. So a lot to discuss and a lot to keep an eye on. Making sure that you're checking back on a daily basis for any possible changes and updates that we may have in the forecast. Have a great day.